Line is this: how many times did we hear the president promise that he's going to bend down the cost curve and stuff like that, and that if you liked your health insurance, you would be able to keep it? Well, now it has been revealed. In fact, Jay Carney pretty much revealed yesterday that there would be millions of Americans whose current policies do not meet the standards of the Affordable Care Act. So they're going to have to buy new insurance because they're going to lose it. So far, 1.5 million Americans have gotten cancellation notices in the mail. And you know when the administration knew that millions would lose it? July of 2010. So you've seen the president and a number of Democrats, high-ranking officials say, if you like your insurance, you can keep it. Back in 2010, they knew millions would lose it, and they didn't say a word.
No, and they, going back to that, Steve, you're absolutely right. There's this little buried provision in there that said if all those changes happen within the insurance company, they then have the right to drop you. So now we have 1.5 million people, as you mentioned, being dropped from their insurance policies. They went from being people who believed in Obamacare to people knowing now that they were, in fact, deceived. Listen to what the president said in 2009 and then again in 2012. The promise that he made, now broken.
We will keep this promise to the American people. If you like your doctor, you will be able to keep your doctor, period. If you like your health care plan, you will be able to keep your health care plan, period. No one will take it away, no matter what. First, if you're one of the more than 250 million Americans who already have health insurance, you will keep your health insurance. This law will only make it more secure and more affordable.
Meanwhile, David Axelrod said yesterday, you know very well, Senator Coburn, most Americans will keep their plans. Really? I thought all of them could keep their plans. Now most will keep their plans. And this, Steve, and I know we disagree on this, this is why I say you cannot delay this. Republicans should say no. Forget about the delay. The president won re-election. If they knew this in last summer, right, the president would have won re-election. If they knew he knew in 2010 all the... If they knew how ill-planned this was, how bad the website was set up, how little hands-on he was, how little detail he knows about his hallmark piece of legislation, he wouldn't have beat Mitt Romney.
Because that estimate was there. That estimate was there, Brian. To your point, 40 to 67% of customers will not be able to keep their policy, according to something that's buried in Obamacare.
So why bail them out now? Well, why bail them out and say, hey, okay, we'll give you that delay until the midterms are over?
Listen, here's what's going to happen is in the elections about a year from now, Republicans are going to be able to say, you know what? Obamacare has been a complete catastrophe, and we tried to stop it. We tried to warn you. It's interesting because the president also said yesterday in an interview that for a young person, it's going to cost you less than $50 a month. Now, okay, if you're a young person, he says that's true. If you are a young person and you've gotten an estimate from one of the exchanges for $50 or less, please email us because we want to hear from you. Instead, we have stories like this. George Schwab, 62 years old in North Carolina. He and his wife have a policy with Blue Cross Blue Shield. They've been paying $228 a month. He is perfectly happy with his policy, but he got a letter in September saying that his policy would no longer qualify under the Affordable Care Act. So he's been shopping around. Best thing he can find, he'd been paying $280. Best thing he can find is $1,200 a month, $5,000 deductible. On the exchange, a jump of 415%, $1,000 a month, and that doesn't even, the deductible is less, but he says the plan doesn't meet my needs, it's unaffordable. So to the president and the people in the White House who said, you know, people will be happy with their choices, there are a lot of people who are just absolutely furious as they open up the mail and see, wait a minute, we've been canceled.
Sure. And, I mean, to talk about pouring